Hi, I want to introduce myself. My name is Craig Heidi. I'm in the class EDL 850 School Finance, and I will be presenting to you on Module 1, where we're talking about building resources and who is able to allocate the funds. Is it the districts or the building principals, and what's more appropriate for that? First, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I live in Topeka, Kansas, and have for about the past 7 or 8 years. I'm married to my wife, Emily. I have 3 boys, Caleb, Ethan, and Lucas. They are 8, 5, and 9 months old, so they keep me pretty busy most of the time. I grew up in a rural community in Missouri, a real small town, 1A school, which the schools were everything for them. So I know what a good education is like, and especially when it's the heart of the town. Things I like to do, I like to go hiking, fishing, anything outdoors, camping. So we're going to be hopefully doing a lot of that this summer, especially when we're with this COVID-19 stuff, just trying to keep our distance. We can still do a lot of stuff outdoors. I work at Southeast Kansas Educational Service Center. It's also known as Greenbush. Greenbush is a special education cooperative that is spread out throughout the state, and so we have offices in Lawrence and Topeka, down in Girard, which is our main area, but we also have places in Wichita and like Russell, Kansas. So we're all across the state, but I work in Topeka, Kansas at a special day school called Project Plus. I'm a school social worker there, and I've been a school social worker for 9 years. Been recently with Greenbush. This will be my 4th year coming up. The Special Day School Project Plus, we serve 40 youth from 9 different districts, and those districts contract with us, and they send their students that they're unable to educate in their for usually behavioral reasons. So we see a lot of emotional disturbance. We do have some students that have autism, but we kind of help work with them so they can be educated the best that they can. I also lead the school social work forums that Greenbush hosts across the state. We do them down south and up north, and so I help lead those and get school social workers around the state various resources and CEU credits so they can continue their education. I've also coordinated the last 4 school mental health awareness days that we've had at the state capitol, just to with the counselors as well as with psychologists, just to continue to create more awareness about the need for school mental health and those resources allocated so that we can impact students and impact not only them but our staff and our families as well. So some of the things that I glean from the resources that were presented to us. The first one that popped out to me was the principal is not the CEO. It's a myth. Many times people believe that the principal has all the power to make decisions and to do what is needed in a school. However, when it comes to finances, that's usually not the case, and so that's a myth. And I thought that was really interesting to read. And also, most decisions are usually made by the district offices or central offices. Many times things are streamlined there. There can be some great it makes things more efficient. It can be consistent from school to school, especially if you have many schools in your school district. And so like transportation or special education services, those type of things can be streamlined so that you're in compliance with special education law, as well as have transportation not only for just your school, but you're figuring out for the entire district. So there are some benefits for having things at the central office. However, with that lack of flexibility in funding, sometimes that doesn't allow for principals to target certain areas where students could be more successful, as well as being able to maybe create a different type of funding system that would be more helpful for your staff and what you guys are facing on a day-to-day basis. So there are benefits to both site-based management and centrally managed resources. I just told you some of those centrally based resource ones, but if it's managed by the principal, then we can align our goals with the resources that are available. We still do that, but if the lack of flexibility is there, then that's sometimes made up by the district. So that is one area that is really, really important to do. And so these are 3 things I gleaned right off the top, and I'll continue on with the next slide. Since there's a lot of schools that are moving from a district or centrally located central office funding that kind of controls most of the funding that comes in and where it's allocated to, and they're moving it to provide more autonomy and flexibility for principals, there in the research that we were in the articles that we read, it seemed like there was a need for more support structures in place for effective decision making. Principals may have the knowledge of how to handle finances at their building, but when it comes to, like I indicated earlier, IEP compliance and some of those special education guidelines or laws, HIPAA laws, as well as FERPA, and some of those other areas that curriculum management throughout the district, if they want to streamline that, things that need to be, I guess, kind of talked about as a district so that it's kind of unified, and so that it's also managing what you see as a need in your school. There just needs to be a decision-making process so those can happen. Another one is that I noticed is that accounting needs need to be ongoing for good financial health. Creating a budget at the beginning of the year and then not looking at it and kind of making sure that your totals are correct throughout the entire year, and not paying attention to it is going to cause you to go in the red, and it's not going to be good for your school building or your staff, or for your district for that matter. So accounting needs to happen all the time, as well as there's organizational finance systems that are out there. One article had a lot of areas, options for principals to have some assistance by certain programs that they can buy and utilize. I think Zero was on there, Sage. There were some really good programs on there that can help organize principals into making better financial decisions, and so they know where their money is going, and then they can do the research: is that money effective for that following year? Another area that I found was that legislators have a lot of influence over the budget with little insight onto kind of what happens in a school building. When they have the way they create the school finance formulas that are out there, and so adjusting those to what's needed, providing more autonomy for the principals to allocate those funds where they need to be instead of having required funding for certain areas, can make a huge difference. District policies also impact the funding availability for principals. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes there's district-wide programs and curriculums and things that need to be put in place, and so that kind of hinders the ability of the principal to make those flexible funding decisions that are out there to drive student success. Yeah, sometimes that money, as I indicated, is required for certain areas and is already allocated. And what has been shown is that good, strong leaders or principals know how to drive student success. They know what's needed for their kids, and so giving them the flexibility so that they can make those decisions seems like a positive and good thing to do. And that's why a lot of people are moving to have principals kind of having more flexibility and more ability to make those decisions instead of the centrally designed offices to do that. Where I'm at Project Plus, I've been able to watch two different principals over my 3 years that I've been there. This will be my fourth year going on. My first year, the principal that I had complete autonomy over the budget. He knew his budget for the year, and he could use that money however he needed for student success. After that first year, though, that person moved on into a coordinator's role. Now he continued to take on that responsibility of maintaining the budget, and now my current principal doesn't even get to see the budget. And so I thought it's been interesting to have the different perspectives on that, as before my first year, the principal had the full autonomy about what was going on in the building, to now where we don't really even know our budget, and we get approved or not approved, and that's just kind of how it works. The funding structure that works at Project Plus is we contract with districts, and so we have a certain amount that goes into the big area, but that's kind of just how things are right now for the funding structure. And so what we use that money for, we kind of have an idea of how that's split up in Greenbush, but it's more, we really have to identify where those funds are going to be most utilized at, that hopefully we can be approved with. Some of my concerns as far as when I go on to become a building principal is having no flexibility in the spending. Just when things are already allocated out and required, then you're having to pick and choose with the little bit of funding that you have and where it needs to go. And so that goes into my second one there, identifying the best financial strategy. So identifying what's going to be the most effective in my school building for student success and for my staff, because you're going to have people that are going to be knocking down your door saying do this and do that, and we have to as a building principal, decide what's going to be the most effective. So identifying the best financial strategies, what maybe some of our goals that we have as a school building, and then what are some maybe some rules that I'm going to put in place so that I know how to when to use that money and how to use that money. One concern I have is if I'm at Project Plus or Greenbush in the future, not knowing my budget. I mean, I think it's important that a principal knows their budget and kind of what they have to spend so they can use it appropriately instead of always questioning whether something will be approved or not. And so then you're wondering if you can even align with your goals because you don't know if you can get to that point where what is needed. So those are some of my concerns with running a budget, and just with any type of thing, you want to have a good program in place. You want to have good policies in place so that you're making good decisions and you're keeping good track of it. So knowing the system that I'm going to use as a building principal to know what my revenue is, what's required, what's allocated already, and then what I can spend and how that's being inputted so we can keep track of that on an ongoing basis. And the last page here is just references. So I'm really looking forward to this class, learning more about school finance and how that piece will fit with the rest of our classes that we've had. So looking forward to getting to know all of you during the class. Thanks.